Hello folks, this is Jason from Mysterious Wilderness. This time, we're venturing deep into the shadows of the Michigan forest to explore the unsettling and mysterious legend of the Michigan Dogman. For more than a century, people have claimed to encounter a terrifying wolf-like creature standing on two legs, lurking in the darkest parts of the woods. Described as half man, half dog, the Dogman has been the subject of chilling stories, eerie encounters, and unsettling sightings. But is this beast real, or could it all be part of a local legend that has grown into something far more frightening? From lumberjacks in the late 1800s to modern-day hunters and hikers, the reports have been consistent: an upright, canine figure with glowing eyes stalking the forest of Michigan. But what could explain these strange sightings? Could the Michigan Dogman be an undiscovered cryptid, a product of local folklore, or something else entirely? In this video, we'll dive into the history of the legend, examine the most notable sightings, and explore the many theories that surround this chilling mystery. So grab some popcorn and perhaps a few silver bullets as we uncover the legend of the Michigan Dogman, terrifying beast or mostly myth. As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments. The legend of the Michigan Dogman can be traced back to 1887, when two lumberjacks working in Wexford County reported seeing a creature that would go on to haunt the region for decades. According to their account, they saw a creature with the body of a man but the head of a large dog, standing upright in the shadows of the forest. This sighting was the first of many, igniting fear and curiosity in the local communities. Over the following decades, more reports surfaced, many describing a similar beast, often seen stalking the woods late at night. It wasn't long before the people of Michigan began to whisper about a half-man, half-dog creature, one that seemed to move between the world of man and the wilderness with frightening ease. But the origins of the Dogman legend may go back even further, deep into the traditions of the region's Native American tribes. Many native cultures in the Great Lakes area spoke of shapeshifters, beings who could transform into wolves or other animals, often as protectors or as harbingers of doom. Some believe that the Dogman could be tied to these ancient stories, a modern interpretation of the shape-shifting spirits described by the Ojibwe and other tribes. As more settlers moved into Michigan's vast wilderness, sightings of the creature became more frequent, especially in the northern forest. Some described the Dogman as 7 foot tall, covered in dark fur, with glowing amber eyes. Whether these accounts were based on fear, local lore, or genuine encounters, the legend of the Dogman continued to grow. In the modern era, the legend of the Dogman was catapulted into the spotlight with the release of the infamous Gable film in the 1970s, a grainy home video supposedly showing the Dogman in action. For years, this film was thought to be evidence of the creature's existence, until it was later revealed to be an elaborate hoax. Despite this, the Dogman legend was reignited, capturing the imaginations of cryptid enthusiasts across the globe. Whether the Dogman is an ancient creature from Native American legend, or a more modern cryptid with roots in local folklore, one thing is clear: the fear and fascination surrounding this beast has never faded. But what exactly is the Michigan Dogman, and why do so many people claim to have seen it? To answer that, we need to look deeper into the most notable sightings of this elusive beast. The legend of the Michigan Dogman didn't end with the first sighting in 1887. Over the years, more and more people have come forward, sharing their eerie experiences with the creature. These encounters spanned decades, leaving locals both terrified and intrigued. Each sighting adds another layer to the mystery of this beast, making it one of Michigan's most enduring legends. One of the more unique early encounters occurred in Paris, Michigan, when Robert Fortney was attacked by a pack of wild dogs. Strangely, one of the 5 dogs stood upright on 2 legs, behaving unlike any other canine in the pack. This unsettling encounter led Fortney to believe that he was dealing with something far more sinister than just a pack of wild animals. Despite the aggression from the other dogs, the upright figure merely watched him, standing still until they all fled. A truly chilling report comes from 1961 in Big Rapids, Michigan. A night watchman was doing his rounds when something caught his eye. Standing just beyond the edge of the forest was a towering figure, unmistakably upright, with glowing eyes that pierced through the darkness. Frozen in fear, the watchman could only stare as the creature silently watched him. Without a sound, the creature disappeared into the woods, leaving behind nothing but an overwhelming sense of dread. Another significant sighting occurred in 1967 in Manistee County. Numerous reports from this area describe a tall, dog-headed creature seen prowling the forest. Witnesses describe the creature's glowing eyes and its terrifying presence as it moved swiftly through the woods, evoking fear among those who came too close. This particular sighting was significant because it helped solidify the Dogman's reputation as a cryptid haunting the northern forests. In 1987, the Dogman legend was brought back into the spotlight, thanks to a radio DJ named Steve Cook. Cook recorded a song titled "The Legend" as an April Fool's joke prank, recounting various fictional encounters with the Dogman. But what was meant to be a joke took an unexpected turn when the radio station was overwhelmed with calls. Hundreds of listeners reported having seen the Dogman themselves, and their stories were eerily similar. An upright, canine figure with glowing eyes, often seen lurking near forest or desolate roads. Suddenly, what was meant to be a tall tale became something far more real. A particularly eerie report involves a man who had 2 separate encounters with the Dogman, 20 years apart. His first sighting happened in 1988 in Alto, Michigan, when he saw an upright canine dart through the woods near his elementary school playground. Then, in 2008, living in the nearby town of Lowell, the man heard a noise on his roof late at night. Upon investigating, he saw the same blue-eyed Dogman that he had witnessed 2 decades earlier. The creature leapt from his roof and disappeared into the woods. Among the many calls inspired by the song, one particularly unnerving encounter was reported by 2 hunters in 1993. The hunters were camping in Michigan's Upper Peninsula when, late at night, they heard rustling from the nearby trees. At first, they thought it was a deer or other animal moving through the brush. But as they shined their flashlight into the woods, they were met with a sight they would never forget. A large, upright figure with glowing eyes standing over 7 feet tall. The creature stared at them for several moments before disappearing back into the darkness. Both men left the campsite immediately, too frightened to stay the night. In 2001, another report surfaced, this time from a motorist driving along a remote stretch of road late at night. The driver described how a large, dog-like creature suddenly darted across the road on its hind legs, moving at an unnatural speed. It was covered in dark fur, standing upright like a man, but with unmistakable head and features of a wolf. The driver slammed on his brakes, his heart racing, but by the time he got out to investigate, the creature had vanished. He drove away in terror, certain he had just encountered the Michigan Dogman. Sightings like these aren't just limited to the Upper Peninsula. The Manistee National Forest, a vast stretch of dense woods and uninhabited land, has become something of a hotspot for Dogman sightings. Several hikers and campers have reported seeing a large, upright creature watching them from the trees, always disappearing before they could get close enough to get a good look at the beast. These sightings have led many to believe that the Dogman may call these remote forests home, staying hidden from human eyes in the vast wilderness of Michigan. In 2007, another eyewitness came forward with an encounter. A woman living in rural Michigan claimed to have seen the Dogman while walking her dog one evening. According to her account, she saw a large figure standing at the edge of a cornfield, watching her intently. The creature was standing on two legs, towering over the corn, its glowing eyes fixed on her. Before she could react, the creature turned and disappeared into the field. Shaken, she rushed home, convinced she had just come face to face with the Michigan Dogman. These reports are just a handful of the hundreds of encounters that have been shared over the years. From hunters deep in the wilderness to everyday people walking their dogs at night, these descriptions are often strikingly similar. An upright creature, taller than any human, with the head of a dog or wolf, with glowing eyes that leaves witnesses terrified. Whether it's a hoax, a case of mistaken identity, or something much more sinister, the Michigan Dogman has left an indelible mark on those who claim to have seen it. But what is this creature? To understand more, we need to take a closer look at the characteristics that define the Dogman, the very traits that have made it such a terrifying presence in Michigan's folklore. Over the years, eyewitness accounts of the Dogman have painted a chilling and consistent picture of the creature's physical appearance and behavior. Despite varying circumstances, many witnesses describe a similar set of terrifying traits that make the Dogman one of the most unnerving cryptids in the world of folklore. One of the most frequently mentioned characteristics of the Dogman is its glowing eyes. Witnesses often describe the creature's eyes as glowing either amber or blue, casting an otherworldly light in the dark. This eerie glow is almost always noticed first, before the rest of the creature emerges from the shadows. Whether the glow is a trick of the light or something more supernatural remains unknown, but it's a defining feature in most encounters. Another striking detail is the Dogman's size. The creature is consistently described as standing on two legs and being anywhere from 6 to 8 foot tall. Its frame is muscular and powerful, far more imposing than that of a human. Many who have encountered the Dogman say it moves with the agility and grace of an animal, despite its large and humanoid form. Perhaps what sets the Dogman apart from known animals is its ability to move upright on two legs. Unlike wolves or bears, which might occasionally stand upright, the Dogman seems entirely comfortable walking or running on two legs, much like a human. Witnesses report seeing the creature standing, running, or even attacking while fully upright. Its ability to transition smoothly between quadrupedal to bipedal movement gives it an unsettling, unnatural quality. Then there's the head. Nearly every report agrees the Michigan Dogman has an unmistakable head of a wolf or large dog. Its sharp ears, elongated snout, and piercing eyes create a creature that looks like it belongs more in a nightmare than in reality. Some witnesses describe seeing large, razor-sharp teeth as the creature growls and snarls. The Dogman's head is the most animalistic feature of its body, making it a true hybrid of man and beast. The fur of the Dogman is usually described as dark, often black or deep brown, and matted, as though it has spent years living in the remote, untamed wilderness. Its fur blends in perfectly with the dense forest of Michigan, allowing the creature to remain hidden until it is ready to strike or observe. Despite its large size, the Dogman is known for its speed and agility. Witnesses often describe it as moving with incredible grace, far faster than any human could run. This ability to cover ground quickly and disappear before being fully seen adds to the creature's mystique. Some believe this is why the Dogman has managed to avoid capture or concrete evidence, always staying one step ahead of those who hunt it. Many sightings include descriptions of the Dogman's claws, said to be long and razor sharp. In some cases, people have found deep scratches in trees or on buildings after a Dogman encounter, suggesting that it uses its claws not just for hunting, but also for marking its territory. Large, canine-like footprints are often reported, though these are far larger than those left by any ordinary wolf or dog. Witnesses often describe a powerful feeling of being watched when the Dogman is near. It's believed to be a highly territorial creature, observing those who come too close to its domain. Several encounters suggest the Dogman prefers to remain hidden, watching from a distance, before either disappearing or, in more rare cases, making itself known in a terrifying fashion. All of these traits, the glowing eyes, upright stance, immense speed, and canine features, come together to create a terrifying image of the Michigan Dogman. Whether it's a cryptid, a misunderstood creature, or something more mythological, the Dogman's appearance and behavior are unlike any known animal in Michigan's wilderness. But where did this creature come from, and what could possibly explain the countless sightings that have occurred over the years? The mystery of the Michigan Dogman has captivated believers and skeptics alike, with countless theories attempting to explain the strange sightings and unsettling encounters. While some see the Dogman as a genuine cryptid, others believe the truth lies in a more familiar explanation. But what could really be behind these chilling reports? One of the most popular explanations, of course, is that the Michigan Dogman is an undiscovered species, a cryptid that has managed to evade scientific detection for centuries. With the vast remote forest of northern Michigan, it's not impossible to imagine that a large, intelligent predator could exist without leaving behind much physical evidence. Cryptid hunters argued that the Dogman could be a relic species of canine, perhaps a remnant of the ancient wolf, or even a species related to the dire wolf, thought to have gone extinct thousands of years ago. This theory hinges on the idea that the Dogman is highly intelligent, capable of evading humans and remaining hidden in Michigan's dense forest. Some cryptozoologists even speculate that the creature may have evolved to walk on two legs for greater agility or stealth in its natural environment, making it a unique, highly adapted predator. But there are those who believe the Dogman isn't just a cryptid. It may be tied to ancient folklore. Stories of shapeshifters and animal spirits can be found across Native American cultures in the Great Lakes. In particular, the Ojibwe and Potawatomi tribes told tales of beings that could transform into wolves or other animals, often to protect sacred land or to serve as guardians of the wilderness. Could the Dogman be connected to these ancient stories? A spiritual or supernatural being tied to the land? For centuries, the werewolf legend has haunted European folklore, and some researchers suggest the Michigan Dogman may be a modern interpretation of these old beliefs. These similarities are hard to ignore. An upright, wolf-like creature, often seen during a full moon, moving between the worlds of man and beast. Could the Dogman be a werewolf or another shape-shifting entity? Not everyone is convinced. Skeptics argue that the Dogman is most likely the result of misidentifications. Large wolves, bears standing on their hind legs, and even stray dogs could easily be mistaken for something more sinister. Hoaxes and fake evidence have also contributed to the mystery. Fake photos, manipulated videos, and tall tales have all played a role in keeping the Dogman story alive. But do these hoaxes explain all of the sightings, or is there something more at play? Could the Michigan Dogman be a real creature stalking the forest of the Great Lakes region? Or is it simply a mix of folklore, hoaxes, and misidentifications, an enduring tale that feeds our fears of the unknown? As the mystery persists, we may never fully know the truth. For over a century, the legend of the Michigan Dogman has persisted, passed down through generations, fueled by sightings, strange encounters, and fear of what might lurk just beyond the light of the campfire. Is the Dogman merely a product of folklore and imagination, or is there something far more real behind the stories? As we've seen, theories abound, ranging from cryptids and undiscovered species to the psychological power of belief and misidentification. Eyewitnesses continue to report their encounters, describing an upright, wolf-like creature with glowing eyes and a terrifying presence. Yet, despite the numerous reports, hard evidence remains elusive. Could it be that the vast wilderness of northern Michigan is home to a creature science has yet to discover? Or are these sightings simply the result of fear, local folklore, or the occasional hoax? Researchers continue their pursuit of the Michigan Dogman, scouring the wilderness for any shred of proof. Whether it's through the trail cameras, audio recordings, or eyewitness interviews, their dedication to uncovering the truth keeps the legend alive. But for every believer, there's a skeptic, a voice that asks whether the Dogman is simply a product of our fear of the unknown. Skeptics point to the logical explanations, misidentified wolves or bears, and the human tendency to fill in the blanks when faced with the mysterious. They argue that, with no solid proof, the Dogman remains a fascinating but unproven legend. But even without concrete evidence, the power of the story persists. The fear it inspires, the thrill of the unknown, it all feeds into a larger narrative that continues to captivate us. Whether the Michigan Dogman is a real creature, an enduring legend, or simply a manifestation of our deepest fears, one thing is clear: the mystery remains. The dense forests of Michigan hold their secrets tightly, and until we find definitive evidence, the Dogman will continue to haunt the imagination of those who dare to explore the unknown. So, what do you think? Is the Michigan Dogman real? A terrifying beast stalking the forest? Or is it simply a myth that has taken on a life of its own? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Mysterious Wilderness for more tales of the unexplained, the paranormal, and the cryptids that continue to elude us.